we have a National League official ball signed by Bill White, facsimile, of course. What's so special about this ball? Find out on today's episode of Baseball King Collectibles. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Baseball King Collectibles. In front of me, we have a baseball by Bill White, the National League president. Now, you guys all know Bill White. Oh, you should, because he had a great Major League career. He was a Yankees announcer for many years. He called the famous Bucky Dent call, home run, and many other calls along the way. He announced for many years with Rizzuto, his sidekick. They were a great team. And many years with Frank Mesa in the booth. So White, Bart Giamatti passed away. Bart Giamatti was elected commissioner in 1989, and they needed to fill the opening, and they took Bill White out of the Yankee booth. I don't know how that happened. I was shocked as a Yankee fan. Like, what? I like Bill White as an announcer. He was a really good announcer. So they pulled him out of the booth. They made him the NL president. And, you know, they've always put, and nationally at the time, there was two separate baseballs at the time, two separate leagues. There still is two separate leagues, but there was a president for each league. So White was the president of the National League at the time and president of the American League. They'd always have to put the names on the ball. All right, official. Now it's all Rob Manfred as the new balls. Bud Selig before that, of course. So what's so special about this baseball? Let's take a look. Oh, it's signed. And it's signed by many players. And we're going to get to that right now. Let's take a look. Who's number one on the list? We got to start off with the manager spot, the sweet spot. And basically, I was trying to do with this ball, it's the stars of the National League, late 80s, early 90s, circa those years. So I tried to get as many stars as I can from those years. And the best manager of those years was Tommy Lasorda. No doubt about it. We had Torrey in the league, and you had Jim Leyland around. You had a lot of big other managers who went into the Hall of Fame, but Lasorda had a Hall of Fame career, absolutely. 21 years, 2 times manager of the year, 4 pennants, 2 World Series, Hall of Fame 1997 by the Veterans Committee. So you can't have Tommy Lasorda on the sweet spot. And he gives you a beautiful autograph. He was so nice to meet in person. And all these autographs I got were in person, for free, outside of Shea Stadium as the players come in one at a time, you know. And this ball took me like a whole year. It was a project because I'm getting guys from different teams. So when you're getting guys from different teams, you can only get one or two at the most of the time, you know, depending on which team you got. So let me get to the next panel here. We have, on top, we have Matt Williams. We have Hojo, Howard Johnson. And the bottom one is Eric Davis right there. All right, so Matt Williams, Hojo, and Eric Davis. And, you know, Matt Williams, he had his 17-year career. 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove. He won the home run derby in 1990 when it was really, you know, people liked watching it back then. And 1994, he had some year going. He had 43 homers at 112 games. And then the strike came. And the year was shut down, and that was it. So he was chasing Maris's record. He would easily hit 50 that year. No doubt about it, you know. No doubt about it. Hojo. And he was a important cog in the Mets. You know, for many years, he was a 30-30. All right, when 30-30 wasn't a popular thing. Actually did 30-40 one year, over 40 steals that one year. So Hojo was a great base runner. He was a good ball player for the Mets, switch hitter, middle of the lineup with power, 14-year Major League career, 2-time Silver Slugger, 2-time All-Star. And like I said, the 30-30 thing was a big deal back then. And he was doing it like it was, you know, today. It was no big deal for him. He was just pumping them out. Next up on this ball, who is that? It's Eric Davis on the very bottom. Eric Davis reminds me of Ronald Acuna Jr. Reminds me a lot now of Eric Davis. Similar start to the career, power, speed, just doing everything. Gold Glove, everything. You know, he was just remarkable, Eric Davis. And he did hang around for 17 years. He had a long career, only a 2-time All-Star and a 3-time Gold Glove winner. All right? But he was also a 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner as well. But he hung around from 86 to 90. Those were his real big years. Look at the numbers. Look them up, and you'll see that. But injuries. You know, once you have 90 came, injuries. 90 on. He had 1 or 2 more decent years in between, but he was a surefire Hall of Fame. Looked for sure he was going to go to the Hall of Fame. So, he didn't do it. Injuries. Nothing you can't replace that, right? All right, let's get to the next panel we'll start it out with. We have Tony Gwyn on top. We have Ryan Samberg, that loop, and another Dale Murphy, who gives you a lot of letters in there, a lot of loopies. But Tony Gwyn, one of the greatest autograph in-person signers of all time, really was. He was just fabulous with the fans. He was just remarkable. I forget that as a player. We all know that. I mean, but with the fans, I mean, wow. And like I said, none of these guys is my only time getting these guys autographs. I wouldn't want to waste it on one time getting each one. I've gotten these guys numerous times before I attempted this. So like I said, this is one at a time, getting one autograph at a time, one team at a time. It was a project, let me tell you. And I couldn't even put a value on this because of the time and effort into this. What about the time? Forget the value of the ball. What about the time, effort, doing this stuff? It's not easy. So let me tell you about Tony Gwyn. I have to tell you about Tony Gwyn. 20 years in the big leagues. Hall of Fame night 2007, of course. 15-time All-Star, 7-time Silver Slugger winner, 11-time Gold Glove, 8 batting titles, 338 lifetime batting average. And again, the best signer for a superstar. He was just outstanding. A really outstanding autograph signer. That's what as an autograph collector, that's important. Who signs it, who don't. There are a lot of guys who didn't sign. There's a lot of tough guys to get. The Bonds of the world and those guys, they're tough to get. But, of course, I got them. Tough doesn't mean the regular person ain't getting them. I got them. Many times, of course. No bragging. I'm not going to brag. Samberg. All right, that's it for Samberg. Let's wrap him up. Let's get to Samberg. We wrapped up Tony Gwyn. Let's get to Samberg with his loops. A lot of loops. Very nice signer, too. Always gracious with the fans. All these guys were pretty good with the fans. He played 16 years. He was the MVP in '84. He burst on the scene. The Phillies traded him away to the Cubs. It was a huge mistake. He went on to be an MVP Hall of Famer. So that was a big mistake by the Phillies. They regretted that still probably to this day. 10-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Gloves, 7-time Silver Slugger winner, and, of course, a member of the Hall of Fame, Ryne Samberg. Okay, next up on this ball is Dale Murphy. And Dale Murphy was another great autograph sign. I mean, that's why these guys are just... And they give you autographs. There's no check marks here. There's no just a circle. There's no just a loop. There's no... You could physically read... Like Tony Gwyn did almost every letter. These guys were consistent with their autographs back then, and you could pretty much make them out over time. You knew who was who. But Murphy, again, close to Hall of Fame. I mean, Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame. Where's Murphy? Come on, let's get him in, guys. 18 years, 7-time All-Star, 5 Golden Gloves, 4-time Silver Slugger, the 1982 and the 1983 National League MVP. All right? Get him in the Hall of Fame already, guys. It's time. The committee, let's go. Let's do it. It's really time. All right, next up, we have this panel here. We'll look at this one. It is... Where is it? Where are we? Oh, here it is. It's Tony Fernandez and... Is that right there? Yeah, here we go. Tony Fernandez and Darryl Strawberry. All right. Why do I have Tony Fernandez on this board? Yes, well, at the time, Tony Fernandez was really a good player. I mean, really, look at his numbers. He was a 17-year major leaguer. And basically, 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove until it just fell off quick. But he still had some decent years. He played a long career, 17 years. Unfortunately for Tony Fernandez, which make this more valuable now, he's deceased, unfortunately. And he died at the age of 57. Very young. It's tragic, a young man to die like that. But unfortunately, doesn't make the value of the ball better, but it just makes the, whatever. But no value to me anyway. It doesn't make that. And I said this was, it's Barry Bonds. I don't know why I said Strawberry. That's Barry Bonds. Right there. B with a couple dots and a B. That's what he gives you consistently on that. So Bonds was a tough one too. He was always tough to break down. He'd get out of the cab. You'd have to walk with him 80 yards almost. You have to walk him. And he grabbed one person's item, which was mine that day, signed it, gave it back, and walked in. That's how he did it. That's how Barry Bonds was. Very, very, tough with the fans. But I got him many times. Of course, Bonds, we don't have to tell you about his career. 22 years, the MVPs. Oh, they were 14-time All-Star, 7 MVPs, 4 in a row, 2001 to 04. And before he became Barry Bonds, with the big head and everything, in 1993, he led the league in homers with 46. He was not juiced up then. He was well on his way to a big Hall of Fame career. He was going to be there anyway, so I don't know. His numbers were big anyway. He was a remarkable player. Probably one of the best I've seen before steroids. Before steroids, guys. He was doing it all before the steroids. So let's give him credit for that. Take away all the steroid years. All right, he went to hit 73. He might hit 45 again, but he was still a great player. He wasn't going to hit, without the steroids, he wasn't going to hit 25, 15 to 20. He was still going to hit 35 to 40 every year. He was very consistent like that before the steroids. So, but we all know what happened, and unfortunately, that's the way it is. And that's the way it's going to remain for a long time, I think. On this panel, we have Gary Carter, the late, great Gary Carter, of course, Kevin Mitchell, and Ozzie Smith. Right on the bottom, the great Ozzie Smith. A little glare on there, right? It's hard to see a little bit, Okay, maybe back there. But anyway, Gary Carter, when the Mets got him, and Keith Hernandez, of course, as well. And he had Strawberry and Gooden as young kids. Carter was the glue. He glued these guys together. He pushed that team over the top. He made Gooden. He pushed those pitches. You asked the pitchers who was the star of that team for the pitching staff. It wasn't the pitchers. It was Gary Carter. All right. He did everything for those pitchers. He nursed them. He brought them along. He really got the most out of these guys. And it's all because of Gary Carter. No doubt about it. So Carter, of course, 19 years in the league, died at a very young age, 57. Terrible. He passed away at such a young age, It was so hard to believe that, just comes on so quick, when you get sick sometimes. And he passed away very young, unfortunately. But he was an 11-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, catcher, and then 3-time Gold Glove winner at catcher. Of course, a tough position. Of course, he made it to the Hall of Fame in 2003. And we're so grateful that he is in that Hall of Fame because he deserved it as well. Now, Kevin Mitchell. All right, where did he bounce around for a while? At the time, again, when I got him on this ball, he was coming off an MVP year, 89, 47 homers, 125 RBIs. Looks like the Mets made a big mistake giving him up. He went on to have a 13-year career, 2-time All-Star. That was it. He didn't have the career he should have had. Injuries, his weight. By age 32, he was just about finished, as far as his big years were over, even before that. He had a couple big years, that was it. But Kevin Mitchell could have had many more big years. It was the weight. It was the, if he stayed with the Mets, who knows what would have happened. The Mets got rid of him after the 86 World Series championship because they felt he was a bad influence on maybe Gooden and Strawberry and those guys because he came from like a gang back in the day, Mitchell. He was known for his gang days in San Diego or wherever he was from, I'm not sure. But, and one of my friends became very friendly with Kevin Mitchell in his rookie year, and he still talks to him every now and then to this day, just on a friendly basis. Believe it or not, when guys are rookies, they look to some of the autograph collectors for, where do I go to eat? Where do I go to this place? Where do I go to that place? So some of these guys actually you wind up being friendly with. It happens, guys. It really does. So Kevin Mitchell had a nice career. Didn't pan out the way as Ozzie Smith did, of course. Ozzie, of course, we don't have to tell you about him. A 19-year career, 15-time All-Star, 13 Gold Gloves. Let me zoom in on Ozzie there. That's a lot of Gold Gloves, 13. It's one of the highest totals. I think the shortstop is the highest total. Oh, he was a Silver Slugger winner one year, so his bat wasn't terrible. It wasn't a bad bat. He came along as the years went. He was a good stolen base guy, fast, speed, In 1887, he was second in the MVP voting. Second to who? Give me 5 seconds to answer. Andre Dawson, that's right. Andre Dawson won the MVP with the last place Cubs that year, even though Ozzie had a great year, but he couldn't get over. Andre Dawson had just such a fantastic year that year. So, but Ozzie was just great. Obviously, he's in the Hall of Fame, of course, as is Gary Carter on this panel. So, there you go. That's what the Bill White Ball was so special about. All right? It wasn't easy getting this ball, guys. I'm telling you. It wasn't easy getting this ball at all. It took me a long time. It might have taken me a couple of years even. I don't remember. I might have did it all in 1 year as possible. But like I said, this is a memory. This is something I'm never going to sell it. What's the value? I don't know. This is a one-on-one, right? One-on-one. We love one-on-ones, don't we? So this is a one-on-one. There's nothing else like it. Nobody else has the same exact names on the same exact ball. Nobody. So I guarantee this is a one-on-one. What's it worth again? I don't know. It's priceless to me. I'll probably never get rid of it. It's going to go and stay in as a family thing. My son, my grandson. Hopefully they don't play ball with it. All right? So anyway, I want to thank all the new subscribers. Guys, it's been amazing. All new subs coming up lately. It's been, wow. We blew past 175 subscribers, blew past 200, and we're looking for 225. So keep subscribing, keep coming back. Tell your friends, wake the kiddies, tell the neighbors, everybody. Come on back for the next episode of Baseball King Collectibles, continuing our journey.